Welcome to Monday in the studio. So this will be the second week that I've been doing this vlog for you all, just documenting what happens in the studio during the course of a normal week. And no week here is really normal in my life, but there's sort of patterns. Anyhow, I've got glaze ambition happening here. I've got all these pots that I want to glaze and put in the kiln today. So I'll have them ready for Open Studio weekend. I don't know if they're gonna all get done. The plan for the teacups that I have here is I was gonna do this really cute strawberry design. I don't know if I'll have time to paint those because that takes a long time, but everything else is just gonna get a couple coats of glaze. I'm gonna be doing these stargazer trays and bowls. I think I'm just gonna do obsidian with some lustrous jade and chun plum, like do that kind of Northern Lights sort of effect. And then I've got these that I have plans for green tea and olivine from Mako. Probably do a white on white with this ginkgo. These Art Nouveau squared mugs that I did, I am going to stain them first, and then I think I'm going to do a celadon with those. And then I don't know what's going to happen with those textured mugs. We'll see. Same with that bowl, and then these bowls here. Just some playing with glazes. But I've got a kiln fired last night in the baby kiln. I'm going to be loading this glaze fire in this kiln in the E23T, so it's 23 inches wide, 3 sections high. And then the E28S tomorrow will be all of this bisqueware that you see drying. I've got a bunch of carved mugs. You saw those last week. Those are gonna go in the bisque tomorrow, and more bisque, and more going in the bisque. So I'll get that done. The rest of this glaze work that's here is just it's gonna wait. Some of it's past classes, some is future classes. So there's a lot of stuff happening. The same with all the pots that are over here. There's a lot there too. One thing I'm trying to get done also, I'm gonna be doing 2 glaze firings this week, is I've got a bunch of pendants and earrings that I would really like to get glazed. I've got more in these bowls, but that's not gonna happen. But I would like to get some of these pendants and earrings glazed. I got these really cool feather ones that I did. Those are really great. And I got some little rainbow pendants, little necklaces, and some little snails, like little Garys. So I'm gonna try to get those done today. So that's today. Today's trying to get glazing done. I did get the slab roller cleaned off. I got some clay that I'm gonna use up for a project or two. Probably work on that, not today. I don't know what day that'll happen. But the rest of the studio will get cleaned up and ready for Open Studio weekend, because that's happening this Saturday and Sunday. It's actually not bad. I mean, someone could walk in the studio and this is just studio life. You know, this is how it is. But I want to have a bunch of new pieces. I really want to have some mugs for people, because we get a lot of folks that come in that don't know anything about Open Studio or what it's about, that aren't necessarily ClayShare members. And I would like to have, stuff for them if they want. So lots to do. Gonna get this glazing done today. And we'll see about that bisque too tomorrow. So I'll keep you all posted. So it's May 21st, 2024. It's my youngest daughter's birthday. So I'm not technically working today, but I am gonna take you on my commute to the studio. This is the traffic I deal with. Randomly a car drives by, because the studio is on, it's kind of a main road. It's not a big road, but a lot of people like to come this way. Look at the light in that maple tree. So fun fact, when we were building the studio, we originally a guy who was gonna do our site work was gonna cut the tree down, said it wasn't a good tree. He was like, it's not that special of a tree. And I fought to keep the tree. We got a different guy to do our site work, and they did an amazing job. But I kept that tree. I didn't want to lose it. I love it. It's beautiful, and it makes the barn look like it's been here forever. So got to do a little bit of stuff. Got some cleaning up to do for Open Studio weekend starting in a few days. That's coming up this Saturday and Sunday. Yeah, isn't that tree nice? Who would want to cut that down? I'll probably always talk about that with this tree. It's a thing, right? And then my steps, which I went to the quarry and I actually got to pick this rock out. I saw it there, and they had, like, it was just the side of a mountain that was all stone, and they were blasting, and I got to see the mother rock that this came from and then pick the rock. So this is actually 3 giant slabs. 1, 2, 3. And then down here are the steps that are another part of it. And eventually they'll all weather to be about the same because it's the same mother rock. So they'll all look the same when it's all said and done. But right now they're a little different, slightly, tone-wise, but I love them. It's great. And they're not going anywhere, which is really nice. So I have a great big front walkway, and there's the house, my house. So my commute, it's so far. I don't know how I do it. It's a struggle. All right, see what's happening in the studio. Oh, nobody's been in here. It's all dark and quiet and a little echoey, and ooh, it's hot. Why is it so hot? Oh, I ran a kiln. That was me being silly. All right, I guess it's gonna go in the blog that we're doing now. So let's take a stroll. This kiln is empty. We're gonna load a bisque. This kiln glaze fired, and it's complete, but it's still really, really hot, so we can't do anything with that. And then this kiln is the one that has my daughter's birthday mug in it. That's at 93 degrees. So we can peek, 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 peek. There it is. So, oh, it looks good. It looks really good. Really, really good. And then that's for this coming primetime class. There's 1 and there's another one underneath. So there's 2 in there. But today is going to be simple. I'm not done glazing. I've got more stuff to finish. And then there's pots that are going to come out of the bisque. The carved pots are going in. There they all are. I have never rushed pots like I rush these. This is the fastest making, drying, carving, everything I've ever done with the carved mugs. And my only real concern, I'm not concerned at all about the vase, that's fine. My only concern about mugs is when I rush them is the handles, you know, the attachment there and getting any cracking. But I haven't seen any, and I did this style mug and I had a bunch more, but sadly they dried before I could handle them. So there are cups right there. And I didn't even carve them because I really wanted some mugs. And then I did this style right here, which is my, I've been doing it a few years now, about 3 years, this style. I really love it. And it's based on a Greek Lakithos vase. So there's some that I threw that didn't make it because they dried out. I got some pendants and other things. So all this is gonna go, everything on this rack here. And oh yeah, up there too, is gonna go in the bisque today. So I'll fire that tonight. I won't start it till tonight. It's really hot, and I'll do a preheat and I'll start it when I go to bed, and it'll run. And I'll be out here in the kiln, in the studio working tomorrow morning for a tiny bit because it's Kevin's birthday, but I won't work too much. So studio is kind of quiet. I still got these to deal with. I've got to sort through these pendants and everything, and I don't think I'll get that till Thursday, probably. So, all right, well, let's unload this kiln. I'm gonna do that, and then I'm gonna load that bisque. So I've got a couple kilns to unload. The glaze fire's at 97, so it's cooled down, it's complete, it's ready. We can have a little peek in here. I'm gonna film a quick little kiln opening. I think it won't be live, but it'll be quick. There's not a lot in here. I just wanted to get some things fired. And then in my E28S, I did a bisque fire. These are those carved mugs that I only made a week ago Monday. So here we are on Thursday. That never happens. I threw them, I trimmed, I waxed, I carved, I bisqued. Now they're bisque fired. If they made it through this, then I can go ahead and do the, oh, everybody looks okay. So far, I don't know about handle cracking. I'll have to inspect them closely, but no explosions. Nothing blew up. Okay, so we're gonna shut that. So my plan for today is to unload the glaze pieces, get everything ready for Open Studio as far as those pieces, what's gonna go in for sale and what's gonna be example pieces or future class pieces, because there could be some in there. And then unload this bisque kiln, and then I'm gonna do the hand coloring of the Mishima mugs that are in there and some other pieces, and probably turn around and put them in the E28. And then I have some jewelry I want to get done, and those I'm probably going to take my time tomorrow morning and put them here in the baby kiln. So it's Thursday. I've got 2 days to Open Studio weekend. There's no time. I have to clean everything off. I have to clear this complete table and put everything away from the table. I have to pull everything off the gallery shelves, and some of these pieces will be for sale that you see, but a lot of these are example pieces for classes that I keep to show when I'm talking about our classes and things. So there'll be some for sale and some not, and then I got to work on lighting and get stuff hooked up. So that's my daily studio plan. I'll check in later and let you all know how it went and if I actually accomplished all the things that I wanted to do. Oh, and you hear a little bit of traffic. I have all the doors. I'm about to open this door, the big door here, because it is hot in the studio. It has been record heat here in Vermont, and I need to have some fresh air in here. So have the door open for a little bit. The lilacs are still blooming, but the crab apples passed, sadly. Oh, and next door, that's the town hall. There's an acting group there rehearsing. I don't know what they're rehearsing, but there's a bunch of actors over there. I'm kind of intrigued. I'll let you know if I find out what they're up to. So, all right, I have to go back to work. Happy Friday. It is beautiful today in Vermont. Oh my gosh, the birds are happy. I'm happy. Sun's out. Open Studio starts tomorrow. This will be up after Open Studio though. So if you're watching this, Open Studio happened and I'm sure it was fabulous. And if I can just get to tomorrow, we'll be all set, because the leading up to Open Studio is so crazy. There's so much work happening in the studio. As you can see, the table is still completely covered with stuff, but that'll get done today. I got all the color done for the carved mugs. 4 carved mugs are in the baby kiln right now. I've got 3 left to glaze. Doesn't this turn out wonderful? I just love this design. It's one that I'm revisiting, and I'm really excited about it, that going back to it and looking at it. And I did a vase with the same pattern on it. Anyhow, those are gonna go in the kiln. I'm gonna clean everything up. I promise. I'm gonna clean. It's gonna happen. I was rolling out some slabs, and this is real stuff. I gotta put that away. Decimated the colors for Earth display when I was doing the coloring and picking out what colors I wanted to use. So I've got to fix that because that's a bit messy. I've got a bazillion pendants over here that I want to get glazed for Open Studio, which is tomorrow. Did I mention Open Studio is tomorrow? This week has been too much. It's been too much. When half of my family has birthdays this week, right back to back, and then just the regular broadcast. Did a kiln opening that will go up Sunday. So this is going to go up. It'll already be up. The kiln opening will be up. This will be, I'm putting out the video, the vlog on, I'm going to do on Fridays it'll be the week before. So what I'm recording now, guys, was last week. But that kiln opening, you can check that all out. Here's some green tea and olivine on this side over here. I did some underglaze staining and Himalayan blue poppy on these pieces here. That is Sand and Surf with Georgie's Sand and Surf with zinc-free clear, both Georgie's on the outside, and then the inside is my Briar Rose. I've been told this is the heart chakra, so green and pink. So that's good for your heart, those of you. You can have a mug that's your heart chakra. I think I'm gonna have to do, I at first wasn't sure how I felt about the green and pink. I've got more, you can see they're hiding right there to glaze. I kind of am thinking of doing them all the heart chakra because I love the idea that I wouldn't normally pick green and pink, and I know not everybody's gonna want a green and pink mug, but I think that is wonderful. And then I'm still loving all over the pearl white with Spectrum And I ordered 4 more jars of it from Dick Blick. There's only 2 jars left, by the way, as of my ordering. So if you want that, you might have to do an order. The stargazing, I did one with black. This is my Northern Lights combo. I explain it in the kiln opening. And then here is the pearl white by itself. I love both of them for different reasons. I don't have a favorite. You know, it's like children. You don't have a favorite. They're just different and you love them all. You're supposed to, at least. I do. Okay, so this is Friday. I fired 4 of the mugs. They're in there. It's at 631 degrees. It's too hot. We can't even peek. No peeking. We'll see that maybe tonight, probably not till tomorrow. So what I got to do right now is I got to get my motivation happening. I need some good music. I've got a bunch of amazing pendants that I made. Oh, these are surprise. Don't look. Those are for bead week that's coming up in July, but I'm making some now and I got to get that done. Continuing on with the real life of studio, this is the filming area the morning after. So the morning after I do a live broadcast, it's usually still trashed and I have to clean it up. Here's the Curio. It's upside down. So I need to go in and clean up the edges. I'll just wipe them down and smooth them out and then we'll flip that over. And I'll let it dry and that'll be done. I'll put the holes in it and we'll get those finished. This is what they are when they're finished, by the way. Those of you who've missed the class, check out the class. We make one, we glaze one. I share these 2 and the glaze combos. Here's a template that comes with the class. Here's some reclaimed clay. All right, so I don't know if I'm gonna include Open Studio as part of this week's vlog, or if I'm just gonna go ahead and do a separate Open Studio vlog every day, film a bit. I think I'm gonna do that. So I will come back and wrap this up on Sunday with a little bit of a what happened sort of thing. So this is more complete because I don't wanna leave it here, it's only Friday. But I will do a separate one covering Open Studio weekend and all that happens then. There was a lot that happened this week, so this is gonna be a big one. And there'll be a lot of really cool stuff in this vlog. I'm really excited to share it with you. So you just have to wait. Well, you're watching this, so you're not necessarily waiting. You're actually just seeing it. But all right, I gotta go. I'm gonna get these done, but let's go back to these beautiful mugs that I'm gonna glaze and that vase. And hopefully we'll get these in the kiln so that they can have new homes this weekend. It's Saturday, it's Open Studio Day. And the studio is pretty good, I gotta say. So all the pots here on the table are for sale. I'm just making sure there's no dust on them. Well, not that. That's a planter from a class. Somehow that got in there. But cleaning them all off. You know, sometimes they get dust. Some of them come out of the kiln recently. Some are ones that have just been on the shelf for a few weeks, and I want to make sure that they're clean. You know, I don't want to sell dirty pots. Look at this one. Isn't that great? I've got some more in the kiln right now. So these are gonna go on the shelves. You can see the gallery is pretty empty because I gotta fill it up. I've got some pots that are here already, but I've gotta curate that. So I'm gonna do that this morning. I still got like 2 hours before Open Studio weekend happens. We've got this little area here, which is the checkout area. So I gotta put that away. This is pretty cool. Check these out. These are little bamboo scoops. They're made for water, but they work really nicely for glazing. And I love them. I'm not sure where I got them. I've had them for a little while, but they're very handy. This top one, the problem with this one is the stick is so thin and kind of flimsy. It's delicate. So I don't use that one. Actually, I never use that one. It just lives with the other one because I guess I don't want them to be lonely. I don't know. This is a succulent planter, which I might put some succulents in. This is some test tiles, past test tiles, glazes I'm going to make, glazes I'm going to test. So that's the happenings. Ooh, it looks nice outside. Beautiful summer. Well, I say summer. It's not summer, but it feels like it. Day here in Vermont. Go back to the kilns because I always like to check in on the kilns. This one's empty. This one fired last night, so it's at 1286. That's too hot. We can't do anything with that. This one's done. This one's at 95. This is the carved mugs. Ooh. So there's 4 carved mugs in this kiln. And there's 3 carved mugs in that kiln. Oh, yes. Oh, yeah. On porcelain, hand-carved design. Wow. If any of these are still available after Open Studio weekend, I will put them up online, but I have to tell you, they won't be. They never are. I don't know. One year I'll make enough that there'll be online sales again. We'll get there. I'm working towards it. I'm working towards keeping up with all the demand. I got to clean the glaze table off because I had a glazing party last night until like 8, but it's done. It's done. I think I might glaze a little bit today. So yeah, I'm going to clear the table off because all these pots are available. So there's pots. There's not carved pots, sadly. Well, actually, wait a minute. Correction. There's some sweet little teacups, some little trays. So there's a few carved things. And then I've got some sgraffito as well over here. So these are carved. This piece is so amazing. I don't really want to let it go, but I can't keep everything I make, right? This one too. These beautiful cherry blossoms. I was playing with the form and the idea of the cherry blossoms falling down the piece. And that one is, I don't know if you can tell what it is. Can you tell? The background's trees, and then there's a whole field of cherry blossoms in the center. So the border is trees, and that's just a funny swirl. So anyhow, Open Studio starting in a couple hours. I gotta go so I can price these pots. The hardest part of being a potter, ooh, that was a tongue twister, is pricing pots. It really is. Because you don't want to be so high that people like, oh my gosh, you want how much for that mug? But you also have to value your time and get, a decent amount for the pieces you've made and your skill and everything. So we have a class on pricing. If you're really interested in that, you can watch it. It's a really great one. Okay, Open Studio begins. So shiny, so clean. I know, I told you I was gonna clean it. So this is what my big work table looks like when it's clean. Fabulous, right? It's a 4x8 laminate sheet that was just mounted on a 4x8 piece of plywood. And it has bracing under it so it doesn't sag. And it is an amazing work table, and it's actually really affordable to build yourself. And I love the surface because I don't have to worry about it getting stained or anything. So it's just some laminate. But look, table's cleaned. So I know I mentioned I was going to try to record Open Studio weekend separately and do a video. Well, I'm too busy. There's nobody else filming. Like, people who visit are filming, but I can't film it. And so that's not gonna happen, but I'll try to get a few little snippets to put in the vlog. And got some sketchbooks out to show folks what I work on and how my ideas come up. We're giving away to all visitors to Open Studio weekend a free cutie rim template, these little guys. And of course we have ClayShare buttons and stickers and little postcards and map of Open Studio weekend. And do you want to see what we made yesterday? And I think I'm gonna do a quick, at the end of today, wrapping up the week, once Open Studio's over. But I did many demos, and I did 3 demos yesterday. We did 4 demos actually, sorry. We did a hand building plate demo where we left the texture out of the center and only did texture on the rim. So we did a small plate, and then I did a larger plate. So 2 of those, and that was a really fun demo. And then I did hand building a mug demo. So I made this mug. And then I did this demo, which was sort of impromptu because I didn't expect to do it. I got these bread cutters from De La Design Gifts, and it showed up in the mail yesterday during Open Studio. So of course, what do? You use them. So I made the big bread plate. Look at this bread plate. It is so cute. Look, I put the smiley faces in myself and the dots, but the stamps for the bread is Debbie's from De La Design Gifts. The stamp for the strawberry jam is hers too. The strawberry pattern around the edge is my strawberry patch rolling pin, which pairs so nicely. So this is the strawberry jam plate. I love it. And then she sent a surprise sneak peek of their June box, their June mystery box. So I made a plate using that texture. And then I made the next size down bread plate. So that's this size cutter out of the 3. And I used her honey pot stamps, the bread stamp, and the little bee stamps. And then the rim for the edge, I did my little bees and blossoms. So combining my rolling pins with Debbie's stamps and cutters. All right, and then I did 2 more breads. I did 2 more. I did this, look at this lemonade bread. I thought this would be great for like lemon cookies, lemon pound cake, or just, it's cute. So it's good for just, it's cute. And then this one here, which is the farm fresh eggs. So you have eggs on toast, and I did the daisy rolling pin for the border on that. I'm just using my weight bags. You know how it goes. You gotta weigh it down. And then this was some leftover clay, so I made a tray quickly. So I did that demo too. And then in the afternoon, I did a glazing demo, and that piece is over here in the kiln, which I fired last night. It's at 255 right now. It's a little too hot. We can't look at it. By the end of today, I should be able to open it up. And then the kiln that I loaded on Friday is at 154. We can do a sneak peek. I'm gonna unload this today during Open Studio. Oh my gosh, look at it. 3 more carved mugs, a carved vase, that mug there. Ooh, I got my cone pack close to the wall. Look how it's stuck. Do you see that? Oops. Oh well. Some new pendants I'm working on for Bead Week. You guys, Bead Week's coming up. It's the same week as Shark Week. We'll talk about that more later. That amazing piece in the back. Oh goodness, that's, oh, okay. And then I refired that mug from the other kiln opening. I wasn't happy with it, so, and there's a bunch more pots, but we're gonna let this cool down to about I don't know, 125, 100, 125, I don't know, we'll see. I'm gonna open it today. We'll see how long I can wait. So there we have it. Open Studio weekend's going so well. Everybody brought me presents. I'll open those tomorrow morning on Good Morning ClayShare. And there's so many empty plate holders. Did that plate sell? The cherry blossom tray sold. Oh my gosh, that was one of my favorite pieces. I wasn't gonna sell it. Some lucky person got that. So there's not much, as you can see, left on the shelves, but I got that kiln to unload, and so there'll be plenty more coming. All right, I'll post at the end of the day if I can, if I have energy to do so. But look how great the studio is. Looks so clean. I love it. All right, it's Sunday afternoon, about 8 o'clock. Well, I guess Sunday evening, right? And Open Studio is officially over. Well, it's been over, but I wanted to share some things. I did a little demo throwing mini pots on mini wheels, and I have 3 mini wheels. This is my Mini Maker mini wheel. I love this wheel, and that's the company's name, Mini Maker. But the sad thing is, if you go on Instagram and go to their page, they stopped posting in 2020. I don't know what happened. I've messaged them, I've heard nothing back. But we threw mini pots. Look at this little guy. You have the cutest weight. Here's a scale. Oh my gosh, really? Really, so tiny. And I threw a couple little bowls. I also threw on this wheel, so Mini Maker, who made this wheel, also made this micro wheel. Isn't that cute? I threw this little plate. The googly eyes, though, I put on there, so that doesn't come standard. I don't know. I have to find out what's going on with this company. Anyhow, this one here is a cheap one. It was about $30 I got on Amazon, and I tested it. It's okay. It's not great, but you can throw a pot on it. So Open Studio went fabulously. We had so many wonderful people come to the studio. It was really great. We hung out with a few friends after, and we had a really good time. I fired a couple kilns over the weekend, and I unloaded them today. Today's demo was pretty simple. We did this press plate with the hibiscus. So we just did a quick, simple press plate demo. I also did heart stamps. So we did 2. And these are in preparation for Bead Week that's coming up. Here at ClayShare, we do Bead Week. This will be our 4th or 5th year doing it, and it happens every year the same week that Shark Week happens. I know, Bead Week, Shark Week, yeah. But it is so fun, and I usually have 4 or 5 brand new jewelry making classes. So we will have, that will be part of it, and then we have a few others, so you have to just wait and see. So I unloaded 2 kilns, and I've got the stuff that was in the kiln sitting here on my glaze table. Although these are my soldier plates, I was sharing them with a couple folks that came to the studio. Let me just put this back. So this is a Mishima plate that I did back in 2015. And this is part of my soldier series. If you want to know more about my personal artwork separate from ClayShare, you can go to jessicaputnamphillips.com, shameless plug, and you can find out more about me and my artwork that I make and why I make it. So you can check that out. But that's something I do separate from ClayShare and that I've done before ClayShare, and I will probably always do. And then this plate is part of that series, and there's some more back. And then this one here, this is one I actually did in graduate school back in 2013, part of my graduate thesis. So when I finished graduate school, you had to, 1, write a thesis, and then defend the written thesis, and then you had to have an exhibition of your work. And my work was a series of, I think it was like 27 plates and platters, and this was one of them that was in that exhibition that I did. This is all hand carved Mishima inlay on earthenware. So these were pulled out because folks were really interested in finding out about that work, and they came in the studio looking for it and wanted to talk about it. And of course, you know, I always want to share everything I do, and anything clay I want to talk about. So here's the pieces from the kiln openings. I had this really cute tray. This is the plant baby one. Now I didn't record this kiln opening because there were so many people. Look, I was standing there at my kiln, unloading it, and where I'm standing now was a whole bunch of people, like an in-studio audience, and there was no way for me to film. So I'll just quickly talk about the pieces from that. So this is going to be kind of a long vlog, but this is Mako green tea wash applied and wiped back, and then green tea glaze on the Plant Baby mini roller. And if you look at the back, it's just, well, that's upside down, but you get it. You can see it's signed. That's a really pretty piece. This one is olivine and green tea on the front, 1 coat of each, and then the back is green tea over that copper wash, thinned down and wiped back. I'll flip it over. Let's see if I can do that for you. There, now you can see it. And this is a hand-built plate. We have done so many of these, the double foot, in tutorials, and you can find those on ClayShare. Did a underglaze decal of my daisy. You can get my daisy design not only as a rolling pin, but also as an underglaze decal from Sambao Studios. China Clay Art is their website. And these were colored in with Colors for Earth color concentrates, and then clear glaze on top of that with my Himalayan blue poppy over that on the inside. The outside I did black underglaze first, then the Himalayan blue poppy. Then here's a Mishima plate that I carved and inlaid with black speedball underglaze. I then bisque fired it. When it came out of the bisque, I colored in all of the floral elements with the color concentrates and speedball underglazes. And then I glazed the side with Lagoon Celadon from Amico and their Cirrus Flow. So a little bit of the 2 of each coats. Let's grab the Cirrus Flow. I want to check. This is the It's down here. My Amico wall. So I used the Lagoon, 2 coats of that. And then, let's see, where's the Cirrus? Here it is. And then the Cirrus Flow, 2 coats of that to make the rim of that plate. So you have that Celadon, but I wanted more than the Celadon. I wanted a little cloudiness, right? Something yummy. And then I have been falling in love with Spectrum glazes. This is Spectrum Sangria with Spectrum Pearl White on top. Same on the inside. On this one is Tucker Smooth Stone Clay. Did the same on this teacup. So these 2 cups. Here is the Autumn Purple from Spectrum, Kimchi in the middle, and Pearl White on top. So that's really nice. Again on the Tucker Smooth Stone. Going this way, this is Kimchi on the bottom to about where my finger is, 2 coats, and then Pearl White 2 coats with a bit of overlap. It didn't run and stick to the shelf, but it was really close. And this is my Plant Baby. No, this is Fancy Plants. So Plant Baby is this one. It's a little smaller. So you get lots of small plants. This one is Big Fancy Plants. And you can see if you look at the bottom. There's a fancy plant. I refired this from the kiln opening from the other day because I wasn't happy with it. I just put a coat of blue Celadon on it. It just wasn't working. These were not from the kiln opening, but I have some really great Buddha pendants that I've made that are in here. Anyhow, we'll go back to the kiln opening. Hibiscus texture on Tucker Smooth Stone Clay, and then that is the Autumn Purple and Pearl White. Same texture with Sangria, just Sangria by itself. That's really pretty. Let's go over here. We're not going to talk about these pendants because that's an upcoming part of Bead Week. You have to pretend you didn't see those. This is Pearl White, 2 coats of it on the Fancy Plants texture. We made this really fun bowl. Here is a beautiful bowl with kimchi, just kimchi glaze, 2 coats from Spectrum. I love it. This is a rolled rim, so it's actually hollow in there. I don't know if you can tell, probably can't, but it is, it's hollow. And it didn't explode, it didn't pop, it didn't do anything that everybody says it will do. It doesn't do that if it's dry. Another piece with kimchi. Here, 2 coats. Little carving on that one. This turned out so amazing. I think I peeked this in the morning part of this vlog, where it's Autumn Purple and kimchi in the center. Again, Sangria, kimchi, Pearl White on that bowl. I'm just gonna put that over there. And this is Sangria on the outside with kimchi, and then kimchi on the inside. So if you go heavy with kimchi, you get this more beige kind of thing going on. If you go light with kimchi, you get this beautiful peaches, which is what I love. Oh, my voice is going. I've been talking nonstop for 2 days. We've had over, I don't know, hundreds, a couple hundred people through the studio. It has been so busy, and I have done nothing but talk from sunup to sundown. So here's a tray I did with Fancy Plants using the Mako copper wash, wiped back, and then green tea over it. 2 coats of the green tea, but it's a vertical, although no one's gonna tell you can't have it sideways, right? You could have it horizontal if you want. I'm not gonna tell you can't have it. And then this one, which we did have some, we had some brie on this and crackers a little while ago. So, oh wait, there's still some on it. Sorry, we were having snacks and wine. We had cheese and crackers and wine at the end of Open Studio, but this is Sangria and Pearl White. I think it's really lovely. And then this is one I did a couple days ago. You might have seen it in the kiln opening. And it's a green and pink mug. It's the heart chakra. But what happened is I glazed and fired this one in my E23T, and the other ones I didn't have room for. So I fired it on the bottom of it a couple days later, and it got really hot. So the pink wasn't as pink. The pink was a little more tan, and I just was not happy with it. So I went ahead and look what I did. I used mother of pearl luster, and I put a coat of that on the whole piece. And now they are in the baby kiln doing a luster firing. It's almost done. It's gonna be done really soon. It's 5-hour firing, cone 018. We're getting there, we're almost there. So soon that'll be shut off. I could unload that tomorrow. And oh no, somebody left their sunglasses here. Uh-oh. Well, I'll have to put a notice out. Somebody have to come get it. So that's the kiln stuff from today. And the table is still pretty clean. I gotta say, it's a thing. It'll be dirty by tomorrow, but oh well. So Open Studio was really great. I wasn't able to unload the kiln until almost the end of the day. So sadly, these 3 mugs don't have homes. Isn't that sad? Well, I'm sure we'll be able to do something about that, right? We'll be able to find homes for those mugs. As soon as anybody, it'll probably be gone by the time I put this vlog up. What else? Oh, tomorrow morning we have Good Morning ClayShare because it's Monday. And we'll be doing that even though it's Memorial Day. Look at all the gifts I have. I've got all these bags. There's some down there that I have to open. I'm gonna put that up here. But I haven't even peeked. So anybody who gave me anything, thank you so much for all the lovely gifts. I will share them all tomorrow morning on Good Morning ClayShare. I just want to give a huge thank you to everybody who came to Open Studio this year and made it so wonderful. It was fabulous to meet you. All of the ClayShare family that came out that has never been here before, everybody who came out for the first time, and the people who are not ClayShare members, thank you so much for spending some time with me. It has been so wonderful to have these couple days with you all. Yes, it's exhausting, but oh my gosh, it was so fun. So I'm just gonna leave this here now and end on Sunday. I will start up Monday morning. I don't know what I'm doing tomorrow. I might just take a day off after all this, but you know, I'll show some of my favorite pieces here. So many great pots. You know, I'm always looking for new glaze combos and design ideas, and I don't really set things up for sale until Open Studio happens, but I think I'm gonna try to leave the gallery. I'm gonna leave the gallery alone in set so that if anybody stops into the studio, there'll be pots ready to go to their new homes. So, all right, everybody, sun's getting ready to set. Day is almost done. I'll go outside for a minute. We'll say goodbye from the outside. Here we are, 8 o'clock at night in Vermont. This is what it's all about, right? I don't know why I'm so quiet. The lilacs are almost past. Sun's getting ready to set. It's supposed to rain tomorrow. I got a few things I got to do in the studio, but oh my gosh. Good night, studio. Thank you, everybody. I hope everybody had a fabulous week. We'll start a new episode tomorrow. Thanks for being along with me on this journey. Good night, everyone.